As requested, we have the 200,000 mile update with the beater Corolla. This was a $3,000 Corolla that we purchased in an effort to save money. And overall, it's been pretty great, but I'm going to go through all the problems that I had with it over the last 20,000 miles of ownership. So it did come with new tires. It did come with new struts when I bought it. But I learned a lot of things about this generation of Corolla while I owned it. And we had a few things that failed, nothing major. But I did have to replace the stereo system. There was a problem with the factory stereo system, but there was a sponsor that gave me a radio, so that worked out nicely. The taillights went out, the headlights went out, and that was not very expensive. Then the battery went out around 195,000 miles, and I had to get the car smogged, and so then the readiness monitors wouldn't set, and so I had to go in twice for smog because I had to just drive the car, and it took like 2,000 miles of driving to clear the readiness monitor for the cat, but it did pass smog, and so that was one of the joys of owning a beater car, something that you forget about when you drive new cars. Let me check under the hood to see what else we can talk about. So I did show you that the paint was pretty bad on this car, but it is a beater car, and so we don't really care about that. Under the hood, we have the new battery on the right. The other thing that you note in the back here is that there is no ABS block. So this car does not have ABS, and I'm used to driving race cars, and so I know what that's like, but it did catch me off guard to have a pretty modern car without ABS. So I was driving in the rain, and the brakes locked up, and I instinctively knew to lift off and apply the brakes gradually, and I did not rear end anyone, but that's a major safety thing, and so that totally caught me off guard. This is a 2004 Toyota. It does not have ABS, so that was kind of shocking to me. I did the basic maintenance, like putting in an air filter. I changed the oil every 5,000 miles, and I did it on a schedule so that every increment of 5,000 miles on the odometer, I would change the oil. So when I got to 195,000, I would change oil. When I got to 200,000, I would change oil, and that made it very easy. Now online, I learned that a lot of people have problems with these engines burning oil. This one does not burn oil. I used Pennzoil Platinum High Mileage with the factory recommended 5W30 rating, and I used OEM Toyota oil filters. Everything's been great. Even in the hills, this thing will get 30 miles to the gallon, so I enjoyed saving money on gas with it. The insurance was a little bit expensive on this car, and it might be because it didn't have ABS, but the utility of the car is great. There's a lot of space in here. The touchscreen that I put in with Apple CarPlay makes it a much more enjoyable car to drive to work. And because the paint is already messed up, I don't have to worry about getting door dings or anything. Coming around to the wheels and tires, I did rotate the tires once during the time of ownership. They were new tires when I bought the car, and they just have not worn that much. So, I mean, I could probably get another 50,000 miles out of these tires. Driving-wise, the Corolla S is very fun to drive. It's a very lightweight car. With the new shocks, the handling is pretty crisp, and I actually enjoyed throwing it around on the back roads. And so it was a fun car to own. Fun, inexpensive, nothing major came up, and the parts are available all over the junkyard. So if I needed to replace the engine or any other major component, I wouldn't have a problem finding parts for it. I'm trying to think of anything else with this, and just nothing bad happened. It was pretty much turnkey, drive the car, save money on gas, and this is just a great beater car. And this does have rear seats, and it does have a sizable trunk. The seats do fold down, so I fit a ton of stuff in this car. The last 20,000 miles have been great. I am going to put it up for sale, and I am going to purchase another beater car and test that out. To me, this has been quite a bit of fun, so I've enjoyed buying these old cars and working on them, and so I'm going to buy another beater car next and see what happens. That is all I have for you on the Corolla S. The update was pretty uneventful because it's a Toyota, it's a 4-cylinder Toyota. There's not much that can go wrong with it. It's just been a fantastic car. That is all I have for you. Thank you for watching, and as always, make sure that you enjoy your car.